Well, it's been a hard 19 months, y'all. Faced with a global pandemic that has killed about 5 million people, Americans were faced first with a federal administration that openly politicized the disease and the measures necessary to combat it. In Mississippi, the cases and deaths mounted as elected officials postured and played political games. And as a result, we lost too many people we loved who shouldn't have died when and how they did. Those of us not in jobs deemed essential hunkered down in our homes and ate too much and watched too much TV. Those of us labeled essential worked entirely too hard for entirely too little pay and recognition. Many of us, no matter our circumstances, felt isolated, especially at the beginning. Some of us had family and partners within a careful pod of people taking the right precautions. But overall, for almost all of us, it's been a stressful, lonely time, especially since we still, even now, have no idea how long this pandemic will last. What got us through this time for so many of us was our animal friends. From animals who live inside our homes or in a nearby barn, to animals who visit us periodically at our bird feeders, or who come out from the edge of the woods near our house, to the songbirds outside our windows and the chattering squirrels in the trees, even to the antics of animals we watched and laughed at on the internet. Our animal companions and friends, whether domesticated or wild, filled an ache in our souls. They had no insecurities. They were not worried about tomorrow. They were just themselves. They gave us unconditional love and quite a few much-needed laughs. They did not care if we were in our pajamas all day or if our hair needed combing. They reminded us of the power of nature outside of the control human beings try to impose on the world. They wordlessly told us we were okay, just as we were. They made us care about creatures outside of ourselves, outside of our human concerns and anxieties. They filled a void. They made us whole. This is a service to praise and thank all our siblings in the animal kingdom, those who live with us, those who live close to us, and those wild things we admire but can never tame and control. Let us lift them up in blessing and gratitude for all they have done and continue to do for us. For the blessing, please indicate you want to be called on. If you are on Zoom, by raising your hand. If you are in person in the church, still raise your hand to be called on so that we can do this kind of orderly. If you have your animal with you, whether by Zoom or in person at the church, try to make sure your animal friend gets into the screen so we can see them. If not, just tell us about your animal companion, tell us their name, tell us a little bit about them. And when you are finished sharing, we will all join in blessing the animal that you have shared about with the words that you can find in the chat. Bless this animal friend, and may those who care for them be held lovingly in the hand of creation. And if you can't remember all of that, just say, bless this animal friend. But the words are in the chat. So please raise your hand to indicate you want to be called on to share about, wait, I see an animal friend coming into the screen. I think we're going to go first with Daniel and his animal friend. He's right there. He's